How's it going, Ding Dongs? Welcome back to Ding Dong Drift. I'm recording this right after the LS400 grill video that you guys just watched. Today I'm gonna probably take apart one of these cars. We'll see how this goes. I really don't have a plan. Well, I have sort of a plan. I'm gonna take the drivetrain out of this car, set it off to the side, take this one out and put it in that car right away so that I have the room to I don't have an engine sitting around somewhere because Boxer engines are pretty wide. I don't have anywhere to put it. I could store it outside, but I don't really want to, have a tarped up engine in the backyard or on the side yard. So I'm gonna just put it back in the white car and then put the good engine and manual trans in this car. And then I can just do all the little things, the wiring, whatever needs to be done. I don't know what needs to be done. I'm completely winging this. I have no idea, honestly. So I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is drain the fluids out of the white one, get it jacked up, disconnect the drive shaft, get the exhaust off. I guess that's enough talking. Let's just get right into it. Hopefully my mic levels are good. I got a new microphone. I got a DJI Mic 3, and the mic levels aren't as automatic as my DJI Mic 1 that I had. So I'm trying to figure it out if there's some clipping or anything. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. So what do we got done? We got the engine disconnected, everything in terms of wiring. So we got the main loom disconnected there. We got the power and ground for the battery disconnected. I still have to disconnect the alternator right here. I got the fuel disconnected. I got the AC pump off. Now that I'm looking at it though, it's kind of in the way. I don't know if I'll be able to get the engine out without disconnecting the lines because the lines kind of kink pretty hard. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I loosen up the condenser and it's able to tilt forward here, maybe then I'll be able to get it out. But currently it's not looking very good. I also got the oil drained. You can see the coolant is almost done draining. It's probably almost done. And then I'm also draining the gear oil. Looks like it's almost done draining as well. See that drip? So gear oil is almost done. The gear oil looks brand new. So I don't know if clutch was done or something, but this is all that was on the magnet on the plug, which isn't much. Usually you got like a big old clump of stuff built up on it. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So all I got left to do now is the shifter. So I gotta take the shifter apart and disconnect it. It's already halfway out basically. And then I gotta disconnect the drive shaft and pull it out and the exhaust. But to do that, I'm gonna need to open the garage and jack the rear up of the car so that I can get the whole thing on jack stands because I'm not gonna be able to crawl underneath. But yeah, actually really easy. Very easy car to work on. Because newer cars, usually people bitch and moan about newer cars, but this is extremely easy. It's a lot easier than an SC, I'll say that. There's not really much to it. It's pretty simple. And there's a lot of room in the engine bay. There's room everywhere. Obviously, there's no room for the spark plugs, but that's just a Subaru thing. But besides that, it's pretty damn cool. So I'm gonna let the fluids finish draining, and then get the rear up, and let's finish up disconnecting everything. It's 4:15. I started around, I think 11, maybe later. Everything's disconnected. Of course, to disconnect the exhaust, I had to resort to more persuasive tools because when do you not need a Sawzall when getting an exhaust off in Illinois? Yeah, basically that was the biggest bitch. Every single exhaust bolt was completely rusted. But besides that, yeah, everything's going well. I got the drive shaft out. Transmission is disconnected. I don't know if you can tell. Engine is loose. All that's left now is disconnect the motor mounts and pull it out. All right, it's the next day. As you can see, I have the engine all hooked up. I got everything out yesterday. Shifter's all disconnected, drive shaft disconnected, exhaust is off. However, yesterday I got really tired and then I sprained my ankle. I'm a little limpy today. I think for this video, I'm gonna finish pulling this out. Maybe I'll start taking that apart, we'll see. Well, that was easy. That is the simplest engine removal I've ever done in my life. To be fair, I've only done a few. I did break an O2 sensor here, one of the wires. On the next one, I just gotta remember to remove it because this was just sticking out really far off to the side. But besides that, everything looked good. And yes, I was able to remove it with the AC pump still in there, all connected. The lines are very kinked, so we'll see how well the AC pump still works after that. Our FA20 experts, anybody in the comments is an FA20 expert. Let me know if there's any like easy maintenance I should do right now. I was thinking probably spark plugs because I should probably just get that done with. Spark plugs are right here, it's easy. That is now out of the way, and I can start working on the next one. So to summarize, to pull an FRS engine out, all you have to do is disconnect the driveline, the exhaust, heater hoses, alternator, power and ground, they're somewhere here, the main harness plugs, which are right here, 1 and 2, the transmission plugs, I'm guessing one is for like reverse or something, maybe speed, I don't know, who knows what those are, or what they do. Coolant hoses, one there, and if you want, you can pull the, you can also pull the intake off, and then you can also take the AC pump off, compressor. It does kink the line a little bit right there, but who knows if that's gonna cause any issues. So, and the fuel lines. So if you don't know how to disconnect these fuel lines, it's actually very easy. If you look, see those little notches? If you put little pins, here, I'll show you. If you just take 2 90-degree picks and you put them in there, hold on, I'll put some on the tripod. All right, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this because there's a bunch of lines in the way, but if you forward, so you take the line, you push it forward, that loosens up the clip. Then you take your little instruments, you put them 90 degrees from the lines, from the little clips. And then you push that forward. So push the line forward, clips, hear that? And then it should, and a little fuel will spray out. There we go, that's it. That's all it is. Kind of enjoyed the process besides the rusty exhaust. It's been a while since I've wrenched on a car, so I'm very sore. So I'm going to take it easy on that one, not record it. It's the same thing. So next video, you guys will see that engine in this car, and I'll be doing some maintenance on that engine. Finally, doing some stuff on this FRS. I've had it for like a year now, I think. I think it's been a year now. Can't remember exactly, but it's been a while. If you guys need any FRS parts, let me know. This doesn't have a lot, the whole interior is missing, but there are some stuff. I know some people like FRS seats for other cars. The seats in this are pretty decent. Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram or email me if you need any parts. It also has Fortunato front coilovers, but not rear. So if you want front coilovers, I got those. And whatever these wheels are, I don't know. I'll let you know the price or send me offers. I'm gonna let this stuff go for cheap, I don't really. That's gonna be it for this one, Ding Dongs. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, stay sweet, and I'll see you guys next week. Do you have your passport?